Once I realized this, I stopped buying a new fragrance. I have now more than 400 plus fragrances, so listen to what I have to say. When I was modeling, when I was 18 to 20 years old, I started taking care of myself, of my self-care, mostly on the exterior side. And one of those things that I was taking care of is also accessories and fragrances. It truly impressed me because to me it was kind of a way that connects the inner side with the outer side. It's art, it's collectible, it's an expression of an artist, but at the same time it's something that you could wear that also changes the way you present yourself to other people. But then after a while I switched slowly with things happening in my life, my focus towards my inner process and inner self-care. And so for many good reasons I started getting rid of a lot of useless things. The problem is I started having so many fragrances because I also started documenting my self-care, my journey on social media, and so brand started sending me so many fragrances. The moment I started getting fragrances, there were also some other fragrances that brands couldn't send me, so I had to buy to make some reviews, to make some videos, and also because I loved it and I was trying to look for the perfect fragrances, or at least the great fragrance, my fragrance. So it kind of became my job, to the point that I started having so many fragrances. And of course, when you receive fragrances from brands, you cannot sell them, you cannot give them. It's really hard because of course it's not honest and it's not good for yourself or your reputation, and even it's not kind for the brand that sent you that as a gift. So you end up having so many of them, to the point that I didn't have enough space to put all those fragrances. I had to start storing them under my bed, most of them, because I don't have space. And after a while, I received fragrances, I had to test them and then to store them away. And then I received new fragrances, test them, store them away. And I noticed that I had so many great fragrances that I couldn't even use anymore because I didn't have the time, because I have to test new fragrances. And unfortunately, I'm a person that doesn't go out all the time. Yes, I go training to the gym and all those things, but I don't go out that much. I go out like 2 or 3 times per week. And so I can test them at home, but never being able sometimes to wear them with other people or learning the feedback. And so I noticed that I couldn't have time to wear my favorite fragrances. And the more you receive them, the least you appreciate the new fragrances that come and the old fragrances that you have, because of the story that you create behind the fragrance. Because a fragrance is not just an accessory, it's art, and it's conditioned by what the experience that you have with that fragrance, the time that you spend with this, the events that happen, the memories with that fragrance. And also there are some superficial fragrances, but there are also some very deep, nice, important fragrances. If they end up just there, stored because you don't have space, that's a pity. And so what I want to tell you is there's no perfect fragrance. One thing that I notice is, yes, you can like a certain family of fragrance, you can like a certain type of fragrances, but the people that have one single fragrance that say, this is my fragrance, it's because, as I told you, they already had this for a very long time and it was just one fragrance. They built memory with that. Fragrances, olfactory conditioning is a way that smell is truly and strictly connected with your memories and with your emotions. So the moment you wear a fragrance, most of the time, people around you and also yourself, you start to recognize it and think, that's my fragrance. So if you are into fragrances, so you start collecting more fragrances in search for your one, you will never be able to find it, because it's like wearing an outfit. People that are not interested in fragrances, they only have one. They're like cartoon characters. They are designed with that fragrance. They've been given that fragrance, that outfit, and they just identify themselves with that. Maybe sometimes they change it, but it's just something occasional or random. But for ourselves, that we have so many, it's like having a wardrobe full of things. You can never identify with one fragrance because you keep changing it. You cannot create those many memories with one because you change, and that's also okay. You can express yourself differently depending on the day. You can wear a fragrance depending on your mood, on your outfit, on so many different things. but at the same time, stop trying looking for the fragrance. Don't be compulsive and buy another fragrance. Please finish the ones that you have before buying another one. Yes, you can collect them, nothing wrong with this. If you're conscious about what you're doing, you can like a certain type of fragrances, that's totally fine, but don't compulsive buy fragrances because it's very easy. They are luxurious, they have this nice packaging, they sell you an idea, they are collectible because you can have many, and also they finish and they're luxurious, but they don't cost that much. They cost a lot, but it's not too much that people cannot afford it. So be aware. Be aware. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching.